Eric. Go ahead. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to RC's home of the free giveaways, guys. Reminding you guys to fly for your die. How's everybody doing tonight? You guys, we got a special guest tonight. I think you guys are going to like this one, man. We got Mr. Frank. You guys all know him. We all know him and love him. Hold on, I got to turn this thing down. Hold on. All right. We all know him and love him. His video of his A10 went kind of viral through the community about 2 years ago. And ever since then, man, we've all secretly loved the guy, and he didn't even know it. So, just want to welcome Frank to the show. Shadow Ops as always, and go ahead, Frank. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
I've been flying for a while. I guess 5-6 years now. I stopped flying when I was about 13. I did pattern for about a year and a half. My dad was an instructor. He builds. I mean, he knows how to spray and build and glass and all that. But I stopped when I was about 13. I picked it up about 6 years ago, and been flying electric. The planes I used to fly were, I had a straight wing stick with a, I guess, an OS 60 or an OS Max 60 with a pipe on it. And we all know them planes back then, they weren't slow flying airplanes. But they moved pretty good, and there's no flaps on them. And other than that, I guess I stopped, like I said, about 13 and then picked it up. But, guys give me a hard time now because I don't fly with Expo. I don't even know what the hell Expo is. I learned on a pro line, from a white pro line to a craft. Then from the craft, I went to a Fataba JR series with all the bells and whistles on it, why not? But other than that, like all my planes that I fly, everything is 75% or 80% on the ailerons and the elevator, and rudder 100%. Then throttle, of course, 100. But guys in the field now, like where I'm at over here in Indianapolis, and they're like, "What's your radio set up at?" And I'm like, "The hell are you talking about? I don't know how to do it." Honestly, I don't know how to put the mixes in. I don't know how to do all that. And I got a guy in Florida. His name's Don the Bike Man, and he's over there on vacation. Well, he goes 5-6 months out of the year, but real nice guy. He said, "Frank, I'm going to talk you through this." He sent me videos on how to do it, and I just, I'm not a computer guy. I've been a contractor almost 30 years. I can build anything. I mean, literally anything. And kitchens, bathrooms, any kind of, cabinetry. By trade, I'm a carpenter. But when it comes to electronics, I'm not a fucking guru, you know what I mean? So
no, me neither, bro. Don't feel bad, me neither.
But that video on honestly, when I put it on YouTube, I wasn't expecting anybody to check it out. Like, it went viral, and I was like, holy shit. At one time I had over, I think, 40,000 K on it or whatever. But I was getting a lot of bad reviews, so I deleted it. And but see, there's a little more behind that video, which everybody doesn't know about. That week, I lost 3 fucking airplanes. And when it's your fault, it's one thing, because you did it. But when you get a plane that's not synced right, the ESC's not, the motor's not working properly, and it's got a short, and it's a little tail heavy, and your throws are at 100%. I don't give a shit who the pilot is. On an A10 tail heavy with 100% throw, I'd love to see somebody fly it and land it. You know what I mean? In Oklahoma City, in 20-something mile-an-hour winds. You know what I mean? But that week, the plane on your right, I had that same airplane a few years ago. It was engraved by Texas. And I was just talking, what's the other guy's name?
That's Shadow Ops, Eric.
Yeah, I was talking, say it again? Eric? What's his name? Eric. Aaron. And I was down in Grapevine, Texas, the field over there. It's a grass field. Well, over 300 foot, you can't get a plane to lift. At 300 foot, you got a problem. You know what I'm saying? So I ran it a couple times, and by the second or third run, I forced it in the air and stalled that MiG, and, it went in 3 pieces. That was the first plane. 10 minutes later, I'm flying a Prometheus, and I might have it reversed. I might have did the Prometheus first. I ordered a plane from or was it Wisconsin? Somewhere. It was out of state. And I went through the plane. I missed the elevator rod. Well, it flew off in flight. I ended up hitting a fucking tree because who can land without an elevator? But I used the ailerons. I flew the plane down in the rudder. I got it down low enough to where it came into a glide path. I thought it was going to glide and just come down gradually. Well, out of the blue, it went straight up in the air about 50 to 60 feet straight up. Now I'm like, now what do I do? So I hit a tree. Well, that was all in one day. Then I get to Oklahoma City 2 days later. The A-10, I put it together. The first takeoff, the first flight, the plane went dead on me. I was at Torx Field in Oklahoma City. And I'm like, shit, what the hell just happened? Because the plane went dead. So I took it back. I couldn't get it working again, so I took it home that night. Went through it, unplugged everything, rehooked everything up. Second day, I did went to go take off with it. Well, it just didn't have no power. Okay, I tried again. I forced it in the air. First, I had a problem with the battery because I didn't use a Venom or E-Flight. I used, I think it was not a Gen Ace. It was I forget the battery. It was a bigger battery. It was a 4-cell, but it was a lot bigger battery. It didn't fit in the compartment that good. Well, on a 64 millimeter A10, there's not a lot of room in a battery compartment. So I was having a problem getting the battery with all the wires because this battery was a little bit thicker, you know what I'm saying? And so finally, I get that all done. I put it down, and everybody knows on the A10, them wheels are very small. Well, the airport where I was flying, I got big cracks because somebody made a comment about the woman that was helping me video. She said something about don't hit the cracks, and somebody made a smart remark. Like I said, everybody knows about the A10. They're just small wheels. You know, if you hit a crack big enough, the plane's going to rip the retracts out. That's what she was meaning by it. But the guy that gave me the smart remark, he can kiss my ass. And
I see. Oh, I get you. I see. Oh, okay. I see what. I could probably see the comment now. Okay, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But anyways, the plane, I finally got in the air. It wasn't flying how it was supposed to be flying. I mean, the throws were 100%. It was a little tail heavy. Okay, the throws were my fault. I should have slowed them down. I didn't think it would be that touchy. The battery, I can only put the battery in one place. So the CG on it, I didn't put no weights on it. I didn't CG it. I just flew it. And plus with the I guess it had an electrical problem because the motors weren't full throttle the whole time. If you watch the video, you can hear them going in and out. You know what I mean? Right. So then the plane died on me. I hit the retracts to go up again, so I knew it was going to crash. Well, after losing 3 airplanes that week, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I ain't going to step it off. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it was funny because, Motion RC guys, I talked to them. I ordered a couple more planes from them, not about I guess a year and a half ago. And he says to me, he says, are you the guy with the A10? And I went, you got to be kidding me. I said, you guys watched that video? He goes, Frank, we all watched it. He says, what was going on? He says, I've watched your videos. You know how to fly. He said, what happened? I said, well, if you watch the very first video, the plane died on me on takeoff. It just dropped back down to the ground. It just died. It went dead. And then he said, well, I haven't seen that video. I said, well, look up Torx RC Field in Oklahoma City. You'll see it. I don't know if he watched it or not. But and I just told him, I said, dude, after losing 3 airplanes, fuck, man, I had enough, dude. I was pissed. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because, when the plane's underpowered, it's hard to fly. It just depends if it's set up or not. And me, I just set the plane up how it should have been set up, I guess, according to what everybody's saying. I didn't check CG on it. It is what it is. So, after that, I had to look at a temper tantrum, and you guys saw the video.
So,
you know
Dave,
what I mean?
Sorry to interrupt real quick. Dave, are you muted on your phone and your YouTube? Because anytime you talk, we're going to echo.
Uh-oh.
I think it's because it's coming through Frank's computer. That's all.
Oh, is it? So what do you need me to do?
I'm trying to figure out what we need to do.
What I normally have to do is throw a pair of headphones in.
Why don't you and Frank try talking real quick, and we'll see if it's stopped doing it. So why don't you both keep? I'll watch stuff on this, and I just know we're getting.
Is my mic active? Can you hear me, Eric?
Yeah.
I know he can hear me too because I can hear myself coming over through his computer, but I don't think I hear it anymore. I don't hear the echo.
I think the echo stopped. I think we're good. It just is weird. Your picture kept going in and out.
Well, there was another little box under. I just took it off, so maybe that had something to do with it. There was another little frame that had Eric's picture on. So I don't know.
So yeah, if you guys hear the echo, just ignore it, you guys. It's just me coming through on Frank's computer, and that's fine. We'll deal with it, you guys.
All right.
So yeah. Go ahead, Frank. Go ahead. Where were you at?
Oh well.
We were talking about the A10.
Yeah, the A10. I mean, I was not exactly happy. So, okay, let me back up again. I had another A10 from Horizon, the bigger A10. I had two of those. I bought them in Louisville, Texas, hauled them to Oklahoma City that weekend. Well, one plane. I ended up bringing that one back because they had to go through it. Something was wrong with it. It wouldn't bind. Okay, then the second one I had, the left aileron would work, the elevator and the rudder, but the right ailerons wouldn't work, and everything was plugged in. So now that was my second A10, the big one, I don't know what size it was, but you know what I'm talking about, the bigger one.
Right.
So after having two of those with problems, I never got them in the air. I ended up bringing them back. He gave me another one, and I just said, fuck it, give me I bought a Super Scorpion after that. I said, fuck the A10. But then I saw the 64 millimeter from Motion RC, so I bought it. So after 3 A10s, I've had a lot of problems with them. And, well, you guys, of course, see the video. But my Super Scorpion, I mean, it's a good flying airplane. I mean, I probably have, 15, 20 flights on it. I mean, now I got a problem with the receiver. I couldn't get the retract to work, right? So I sent out for a new computer, little box in it, the board. I took all the wires out, rehooked up the board, hooked everything back up again, hooked the receiver up, and it's not a cheap receiver. It's you want the telemetry on it, the satellite. It's got I think 2 of those on it or 1 of those on it, and it's a 10 channel, something like that. It's the big spectrum with all the antennas on it, and I still got the retracts on the damn thing. After replacing all the boards, hooking everything back up. So I called him at the hobby shop. He said, Frank, bring it down here. But this is a couple of years ago. I mean, literally 3 years ago. The plane's been sitting in my storage. And he said, bring it down here. He said, it might be the receiver. I said, but the receiver's only got 15, 20 flights on it. You know, it's not even a year old when this all happened. And he said, you have no retracts. I said, all 3 retracts are dead. I took all the computer boards out of it, rehooked everything. I ordered new ones. I thought maybe the circuit board was bad. You know what I mean? Well, it wasn't that. So the plane sat. But before that, I was in what part of Oklahoma? It was some Army base I was flying at. In Oklahoma City, you got anywhere from 25 and up to 30-something mile-an-hour winds. And either you learn how to fly in that shit, or you don't fly out there. You know what I'm saying? So, for me to fly in the wind, I don't have a problem. I like the wind. I like when it's windy. But these foam planes are not really made for 25 mile-an-hour winds. But that's super.
They're super light. They're super light.
They are. I mean, so I forget what Army base it was at. Where it was at?
Was it Fort Sill?
One. I don't know. They got the stealths there. I saw a lot of stealths taken off. I saw about 4 different stealths at 4 different times passing over with the Apache helicopters. And but anyways, the guys are telling me it's too windy, don't go up. You know me, I'm like stubborn-headed. Can't tell me shit how to fly. I fly off. Now I'm trying to bring it in. I'm about maybe 2 feet off the deck, but it's over 25 mile-an-hour winds. And at this particular field, if you go more towards the end of the runway, within 100 foot, 80 foot, you're in the water. And I knew either if I set it down or I'm going to end up in the water. Well, the third pass coming around, the wind kicked up, caught the wing, flipped it over, it ends up in fucking 4 pieces. Man, you want to talk about pissed off? And everybody's looking at me like, we told you not to fly. And I'm like, I bit my tongue, didn't say nothing. I walked over to the plane. I just looked at it. I got pictures of it. It was in 4 different pieces. I was like, you son of a bitch. You know, I was pissed. Because the Super Scorpion flies good. You know what I mean? So I took it home. I put 2 carbon fiber strips in the fuse all the way through it from the nose back.
Yep.
And I epoxied it in. And they're strong as hell. I flew it. I got a video of it in Oklahoma City after I fixed it. And but the battery died. I landed in the grass. I mean, the plane's still good. Everything's fine on it. But the retracts don't work now. So I just left it in the storage. But I've been flying a little damn Viper for a while. It's not a bad flying airplane. It only goes about maybe 70, 60, 70, I think. You know, people say they're faster, but when you're flying a 100-mile-an-hour airplane and you're flying something less, you know how, but you can tell what the airplane's doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
Because a lot of my prop planes, well, I got the 2 airplanes now. My Zero, I put a 960 or 950 kV motor in it. It's a 15. It's a small little Zero. It's 1100 millimeter. I'm hoping to hit 100 with it. And then my Dallas Doll, I put a 25 E-flight motor in it. I'm going to run a 10-8 prop on both of them. And it's just going to be a 4-cell from a 3-cell to a 4-cell. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to hit 100 with it. You know what I mean? But I got planes home that I put carbon fiber strips in. Like I got a couple of Wildcats. When I fly them at the field, people get pissed because a Wildcat, it's a slow flying airplane. Well, when you're at 100 miles an hour or more with a little Wildcat, heads are looking at you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, well, we fly jets out here that are just as fast. You know, I can't help it. This little airplane is going 100 miles an hour, and it's just squirrely. But I like them. You know what I mean? But I got the wings reinforced. I got the fuse reinforced. Everything is epoxied in and carbon fiber strip. You know what I'm saying? I got slits in it. You really can't see them unless you're really looking at it. And people are like, "What the hell motor you got in that thing?" I said, "I just got an E-flight 25." But they're But they're fast. They're fast. You know what I'm saying? And me. I bought that, the V1200, I think it's called, that blue airplane from Horizon.
Oh,
there ain't no way that plane does 100 miles an hour. I don't think. I mean, the one I got doesn't. You know what I mean? I flew it probably almost 10 times already, and I don't use flaps coming in. I tried it. The plane, I don't like flaps. I'm not a flap guy. I mean, I come in hot, put it down. I don't think it does 100, honestly, but people say it does. I'm like, well, if you never flown
it depends on the plane. It really just depends on the plane. For a foam airplane coming into the wind, you're probably not going to need flaps, bro. Honestly, I mean, we're talking about a foam plane here. I mean,
but guys, they tell me, you got to use your flaps, and I'm like, well. When you put flaps on that balloon real bad, you got to set the degree with the elevator. I don't know how to do all that. I mean, honest, I don't know how to do it. So I tried it. The Super Scorpion I got is set up, but there's still balloons on me, so I don't use them. And but then again, I've never used flaps, but I'm used to fast airplanes. I like fast airplanes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But the jets, there's a couple of guys now at the field down here where I'm at. They have that. What is it? That red jet with the big things on the side. What's it called? T-33, I think, or T.
Oh yeah, T-33. Yeah.
He has that, right? So I'm watching it fly. I wasn't trying to hurt his feelings or piss him off, but he's telling me the plane's a fast jet. I'm looking at it. I'm going, that jet ain't going but maybe 60, 70 miles an hour. All bullshit is going more than that, and I'm like, well, okay, if you say so. I mean, I'm not trying to hurt feelings, but you know what I'm saying? I'm watching it and I'm going, there ain't no fucking way that plane's going 100 miles an hour. I mean, because it's just not that. It's not moving. It's a big jet, but it's not. It doesn't move. You know what I mean? And
are you talking about the giant HSD?
No, not the HSD one. The other one, the one from Motion.
No. Yeah. I don't think those are going.
He turned around and looked at me and said, I wouldn't have bought it if it was a slow fly. And I'm like, well, all right, I'm not going to, hey. Because I'm used to planes that I know are moving. You know what I mean? They're squirrely and they fly good, but they're their foam, and so when I'm watching a plane, I'm looking at them going, I don't think that's really doing what you think it's doing. But I mean, I love having radar going just to be, just to check. But and like I said, I don't try to piss people off, but I do speak my mind, and it does, I guess, offend people.
It's all it is. It's an honest opinion.
Yep, that's all it is, and I mean, I'm good with everybody where I'm at. They know I like them all, and they like me pretty much from what they say. You know what I mean? I mean, at least what they're telling me. I mean, so
to your face anyway, right, Frank? I think that's the way it is at my club too. They like you all in there, so you gotta leave. Oh, there's that fucking Dave's RC guy. So fuck. Why have you taken the code away from that guy yet? Who gave him the gate code?
What do you got? What do you got? Scraps. When is that? Who was Scraps? That's the Oklahoma guys. Yeah, I think those Oklahoma guys. Am I going to be? No, I'm probably not going to make it out there because it's. I think that's next month, isn't it? I think. Yeah, I think it's next month. I was talking to them. I was on. I don't know. Actually, you know what? I'm going to actually be in Texas on the 12th, so I might end up going to Oklahoma. I may go up there. It depends on what day it is. Oh, it's this month. No, I'm probably not gonna be able to make it out there now. Huh? I think is it the 16th this month? Something like that. Oh, I mean, 'cause I'm gonna be in Texas February 12th. I might be there for a couple of weeks, so I may be able to run up to Oklahoma.
So I got to check one of these videos real quick on my YouTube channel, because apparently there's a fly-in in New Hampshire this week. I got to figure out where it's at. You wanted me to give a shout out on the channel.
Right.
So.
Hey, you guys know Pilot Ryan?
Oh yeah, Pilot Ryan's a good friend of mine.
Dave knows him personally. I've just talked to him a little bit through his shows, but Dave's actually met him personally.
Did you? I don't think he cares for my video very much.
Pilot Ryan doesn't watch a lot of YouTube. That's one of his things. He has seen his stuff though, Frank. Yeah, he has.
Has he?
Yeah, but he doesn't watch a lot of YouTube because he's under the impression that if he's watching YouTube, he's not working on his own channel.
Oh yeah, I hear you. I'll tell you, I started watching a lot more stuff now, and after talking like you guys and all the other guys, I started watching different stuff, and I really never subscribed to anything, or I used to go flip through it because I really didn't know how big it really was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I really don't know a whole lot about it. And as far as what it is for, and like having the podcast and whatnot, and all these channels, and then people are telling me and I'm learning as I'm going. And, it's like a learning process. You know what I mean? And honestly, I never had a Facebook up until a couple of years ago. I never had one, and now I got one. And it's like, people tell me, well, what the hell what rock you been hiding under? I'm like, man, I'm not a computer person. I'm not that guy. I'm not I can't even hook up a fucking surround sound in the TV in the house. I don't, but I can hook up a stereo system in the truck. You know what I mean? I can put woofers in with an EQ and all that, and amps and whatnot. But like surround sound, like DVD players and all that woofer in the house, bro, I can't do it. It's not me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I tell you what, man, Frank, it took me a while to figure out what Expo and what rates were. But ever since I found them and learned how to use them, bro, Night and day with the way my planes are acting. Yeah, man. Night and day.
That's what people are telling me, and they give me a hard time about it. And I'm like, well, one day I got a guy named Dave Bloomer up here. Very nice man. I like him. He's a good guy. He's an older guy. He helps me. He actually set one of my. I had a little pits. I was flying out there. You know, my dumb ass. I'm at 100% throw on a fucking 800 millimeter pits. You know how fast that sucker was rolling. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was, twitchy as hell. And I came back down, and Dave, he said, what are your mixes on there? And I looked up and said, Dave, I don't know how to do all that. And he actually put some expo on it, and I flew it after that. It is like night and day. I mean, it's a night and day experience.
It is.
But I don't personally know how to do it. He had the radio. I was watching him, so to show me how to do it. And but the guys tell me once you learn how to do it, it's easy. I'm looking forward to learning how to do it because I want to fly better. You know what I'm saying? But like I was telling Eric earlier, the AS3X, them receivers, I take them out, and I just put regular receivers in them. Sport receivers. I don't use AS3X. I used to, but I feel like you're not flying the plane. You know what I mean? You are, but you're not, because the receiver's helping you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is. The AS3X, I can't fly. I can't use the AS3X. It's I don't feel like I have control of the plane.
Yes, because when you're telling the plane to do something, it's not responding. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's making you hold the stick there instead of where you can just push it and get your angle right and come around. It's actually making you hold the stick there, and I don't like that. I don't like that feeling. That's a bad feeling.
It's if you can't dip the wings and when you're moving the toggle, there's something wrong. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't like the AS3X, and I've had planes where AS3X kicked in the wind, and the plane looked like it was in 4 pieces in the air, and people looking at me going, "What's wrong with that airplane?" I go, "That's AS3X for you." If you don't program it right, some of them, the plane will do some dolphin shit, like they call it dolphining, up and down. Like the tail on the plane will go up and down like a dolphin's tail.
Yes, that happened to me with my Falcon Wolf. Yeah, the gyro out of it.
Yep, it's weird, bro, and I just don't like them, and I don't know how to reset all that. You got to plug them into the computer with, I guess, a USB cable or some shit.
Yeah, you got to download the app or download the program. I don't know how to do it, man. If you ever have any questions on any of that kind of stuff, man, Frank,
Air Marshal.
He can do it. He can do it for you, frontwards and backwards, walkwards. But he can actually do right through everything with those full spectrum radios and stuff.
Cool.
I used to fly on Tactic and only Tactic. I had a Tactic radio, cheap, efficient radio that it's always worked. And then somebody got me a Spectrum, Michael Rotniska.
So Frank, real quick, sorry to interrupt. Is your YouTube muted on your computer?
What happened, Eric?
Is YouTube muted on your end, Frank?
I don't know. What do you mean?
We're just trying to figure out what the echo is.
I don't know.
I know what
I'm looking
it is.
at it, but
I just figured out what it is. We're not going to be able to fix it. We just got to be patient.
Yeah, why?
You gotta be patient.
Oh, all right.
I don't know where it is.
What can you do about that? Maybe just turn his computer down a little bit. Just turn it down.
Yeah, maybe turn the volume on your computer down just a little bit.
I just turned it down to 59. Is that
okay?
Better?
Is it echoing as much now?
I see what it is. It's the delay on his computer.
I don't hear no echoes over here. Maybe I'm talking too loud.
No, you're good. It's something to do with. So we'll just try it there.
My voice is coming through your computer and then being picked up by your mic again. So it's like my voice is echoing on here, but it's not really that big of a deal. Come on, you guys, it's not that. We've had We've had worse things happen.
I can't hear him. They're there. What else you got?
So what questions you guys have for Frank?
Have you flown that?
Finally got Frank on the show, guys. And anything that you guys want to ask him or get out of your system now with him and you know, just kind of welcome him in to the community, by all means, man, this is the time. I was actually just looking at the chat here. Oh, Pilot Ryan's in here?
Yes, he is. Being his goofy self.
Deuces Wild, Pilot Jerry, George Hello. What are you doing, man? See you in here. Cracker Boys, Mike Ryska, Jet Tech Don. What you doing?
What's up, guys?
No. Oh, I don't think so.
What's probably the best? What's your favorite plane that you've ever flown, Frank?
Oh,
It's not fine. There's
I like Corsairs. I like Corsairs, how they fly.
just need to find your trash bag. That's all.
I mean, I get to Olympus. It's a pattern Olympus from Horizon. It flies pretty good. The Viper jet flies pretty good. I mean, most of them fly pretty good, but out of all, I like flying the Corsairs. I got an old, a couple of Steinfold Corsairs. They don't make them anymore, but they fly. Out of all the Corsairs that I've flown so far, that one flies, the best.
So we just had a question from George Watts. He said, "Does your dad still fly RC, Frank?"
No, my dad hasn't flown in a long time. He's on his third pair of hips, so he has a hard time standing.
That makes it hard.
He turned 75 yesterday, so. But back in the day, he used to fly. I tell you what, I used to watch him fly, and he'll bring them planes down like he's landing on an aircraft carrier, and coming in 70 miles an hour, putting it down on the deck, and the plane would be going side to side down the runway, with the little pattern wheels they used to use back then. And one day I said, after watching him as a kid, I said one day I'm going to do that, and I can land them. Not that good coming down the deck, but I can't land them coming in fast. It just, depends on what day and kind of mood I'm in. You know what I mean? It just, it's, depending how windy it is, but to land them like he does, it's something to watch. Well, back in the day it was, because everybody in the field, they sit there and stare at it, and I don't know how the hell he did it. And to this day, because I try it. I bring them in. I used to try coming in at half throttle, like the Super Scorpion. That I don't use flaps. That comes in pretty fast. You coming in at half throttle with a Super Scorpion, from full throttle, it's pretty quick. And I've bounced it a couple times. Full throttle, so I didn't crack it in half. But I like coming in, landing fast. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing like coming in and putting it down. You know what I mean? Especially I'm noticing though, the retracts that come stock with these airplanes, they don't hold. That's another problem. They fold, you know what I mean? Or they'll close up halfway and the plane's tilted, and it's, you got a plane going 30 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour, and it doesn't want to roll straight. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, you know what I mean? Right. But a lot of guys, they use flaps, they come in slow. I think, honestly, it's a different generation now with people that are flying than it was years ago. It's a whole different line of products. Just everything. The people, too. You know what I mean? It's just different. Everything is different, the way they do things. And a lot of people, I watch a lot of videos on these guys with the jets. You got the flaps on, and the plane's coming down. It looks like it's barely even moving. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I guess if you want to hovercraft. You know what I'm saying? But I guess it takes a talent to do that. Is what I'm getting at. It's not my cup of tea. I don't know if I'll ever try that. I've tried the flaps. I'm not a flap guy. People that my hats off to the guys that do it, and I watch them land because I mean it's pretty to watch. I guess it takes a lot of practice, but I'm more of the guy that's hit it and get it and come in and it's actually you know what I'm saying.
I'm the same way, Frank. Every one of my landings, no bullshit. There's no BS. I think minus one F-15 landing. I dead stick every landing. Every single one of my landings is a dead stick. I stop it. I just know where to stop the plane. I know where to cut the throttle, and I come in. If I need to goose it a little bit, if I need to goose a little bit more throttle in there at the end, I will. But 9 times out of 10, I land it's all on the dead stick every time.
Right.
I catch shit for that all the time, but I mean, that's just the way I learned how to do it. The belly landers. That's how I kind of learned how to do it, and it's translated over into the bigger prop planes, bigger jets. It's just something that I've done.
Right.
I feel comfortable with.
Out of all the jets you fly, which one do you like the best?
Out of all the jets I have, which one do I like the best?
Which one flies the best?
Oh, which one flies the best?
Yeah. I know the Avantis fly good, but
okay. So if we stay away from the sport jets, because all the sport jets really fly really nice. I would have to say the Freewing 262.
Which one is? I don't know what that is.
The Freewing 262.
Okay, I got you.
The German one that kind of looks like a shark. It's got like a shark-shaped body.
Right.
I think flies like a dream. I mean, just some of the nastiest landings you're getting ready to come in for, and it makes you look good. That plane will make you look good.
I hear you.
Beautiful plane. And if say you're having if you're getting ready to have a rough landing in some tall grass, you can throw those damn retracts right up and land it right on the tanks, right on the engine tanks, the engine pods. They even have like plastic things on the bottom. I mean, I think as far as military planes go, that's probably one of my favorite planes. It always will be. No doubt about it. But if you get into like the sport planes, I really like the L-39. A lot of people will say Avani, but I'm
George Watts is saying that Freewing 90 mil F-22 flies good too, Frank.
Oh yeah, Frank, I got one of them right here. Here, I'll show it to you. I got one right here.
Actually, I have the 64 millimeter one with 4S, and it flies pretty good too. It's not going to be anywhere as fast as the 90 millimeter, but the 4S Freewing Raptor flies pretty good too.
Oh yeah. That's the 90 millimeter, isn't it?
This is the 90 millimeter Raptor right here.
Is that the 8S or the 6S?
Yeah, his is the 8S.
This one flies on 8S.
8S?
Yeah, this one's on an 8S system. It's a big old honking plane, man. It's a big plane. It really is a big plane.
Right.
But George is right. This is probably one of the most floaty planes that you'll fly.
Right.
This one's good too, man. I mean, they're all really kind of good in their own way. But this one, with it being a whole flying body like this, this is probably one of your easier ones to fly as well. This is an easy one to fly too.
I think someone referred.
Well, it's got a big wing. If like you said, it floats, I bet pretty good.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
I heard someone refer to the Freewing 90 mil Raptor as like a Skell EDF trainer for 90 millimeters.
And also the Freewing F-15 90 millimeter. The F-15 flies really, really good too, Frank.
Does it?
F-15 from Freewing. That's also a really nice. That is probably one of the nicest landing planes I have ever flown.
The F-16
kind of just settles all on its own. Like, I mean, that's one of the planes where I was saying that I don't dead stick when I land it. You just carry a little bit of speed in your throttle, and she just kind of settles in real nice. It's not only a good flying plane, a nice handling plane, but it's by far probably one of the nicest landing planes I've ever flown.
I hear you. And is that the 90 millimeter one?
Yeah, the 90 millimeter F-15. Really top-notch plane, man. It really is.
I hear you.
That's one bird, though. I hear that you better to have the new HP one or put 8S in it, because I guess it's heavy.
Yeah, it's kind of a pig on the 6S stock system that's in it. It's not. It's. I mean, mine's still on the stock system, and I don't mind it because it's definitely it's kind of a pig.
I got a question for you. I'm thinking about getting a Super Scorpion here in Indianapolis. I'm thinking about getting one. I want to go to an 8S setup. What do you think would be a good setup for the Scorpion?
So are you gonna get the FMS one, the orange one?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say like the 8S system that's actually in that wrapper, you can buy it right from Motion RC. And that would be that would be a perfect setup for it.
Now on that 90 millimeter one, on the 90 millimeter, will that fit in the 80 millimeter? Oh no, that's right. The Scorpion is a 90.
It is a 90 mil, yeah. Yep. I actually have that FMS. I actually have both Super Scorpions. I've got the FMS and the free wing one.
Do you?
For whatever reason, the FMS one flies way better than the well, I wouldn't say it flies better, but it's just it feels more controllable, the FMS one. I think it's just because it's bigger.
The weight is matched better to the lift.
There's more being there. The thrust of weight is a little different.
Right.
The free wing Super Scorpion, it's kind of a pain in the butt to get off the ground. But once you get it up in the air, she's fine. But
right.
Getting her up there on that first rotation is kind of a pain in the butt. She likes to kind of roll on you and flip.
Right. My nose here, I've replaced it probably, I think 4 or 5 times already on that Scorpion, and it don't hold. I mean, you got any suggestions on what gear to put in that thing?
What's that?
On the nose gear, I'm probably gonna want to change it out because I want to have the FMS one. I've gone through about 4 or 5 nose gears already because the rod keeps popping off and I don't, it just doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's weird. That's odd.
Yeah,
I'm sure that there's some nose gear out there that I mean, you can make a lot of things compatible with another plane. I had a FlexJet, 90 millimeter FlexJet that I sold to my buddy Roy, and the front retract in that thing broke on the first landing, and I actually took the front retract out of my broken 70 millimeter Sky Sword, and I put it into that FlexJet, and it worked just fine. So I mean, yeah, things are compatible. It's just getting it to mount in there. You guys want to make sure it's.
What I'm thinking is, when I get the Scorpion, I want to go to an 8 cell setup, and I definitely want to change the landing gear out on it. I mean,
the front gear.
Yeah, the front gear, they just I don't like, unless they change it. I don't know. I mean, the one I got's about probably 4 years old. That Super Scorpion.
Well, so what's going on with your gear again? You're saying that the pin that holds
the gear, that rod in there. I bend my gear sometimes, and sometimes I hit too hard. So the gear has a hard time turning, and that rod in there that's got on that little a little lever that when you opening and closing it, it turns back and forth. It don't work properly, and it sometimes it pops off. And I don't know. I've changed it probably 4 or 5 times in those gear on that plane already.
Damn, man. Yeah. You're a little rough on the landings, aren't you, Frank?
Yeah. Hey, like I said, when I'm flying, oh shit, Frank's going up.
That's what they say to me too. Okay, he's going up.
Bro, I really am.
I mean, hey man, I'm trying to get better. I used to come in and land super fast, man. Like I'd point the nose of the plane right at the deck, and then right before I'd get there, I'd flare it. And I'd hit the ground going 50 miles an hour, And so I know. I used to do the same thing. For whatever reason, I got some kind of rush off the plane going that fast while it's landing.
I hear you.
But yeah, man, it was it's taken me some time to actually get the landings where they're at now, and I'm still by a long shot.
I hear you. I mean, some days I got good flares out. You flare it out. I got some good days, and some days are a little harder than others. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not all perfect. Not all of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't. Number one, I don't fly as much as I used to. I'd be lucky to fly once or twice a month if I can get out there. You know what I mean? It's it's a lot. When I was home in Texas, I had 2 or 3 airplanes in a truck with me every day. I had my box, everything, my radio. And lunchtime comes, I take a couple hours every day and go flying. I tell my guys I'll be back later. Just get done what you got to get done, and I'll be back. But here, I don't have my crews here. I basically work with being, got a couple of helpers and whatnot, and guys I sub out to, so I don't get to fly as much. So my hands are a little stiff. When you don't fly every day, you do it once or twice a month. It's a big difference.
That's what I'm trying to do more. I'm trying to do more of now because I'm trying to get out and fly more.
Right.
Just keep fresh content on the channel. That way, people are. I noticed that I'm starting to slack in my subscriptions compared to the guys that were right with me when we went over 1,000 subs, like Jeff's Custom RC and Dave Marshall. They're well ahead of me now. And I'm like, my thumbnails look good. I keep forgetting to put my hashtags in, which is probably a bad thing. I need to start doing that. But another thing is I was realizing I'm not putting up any goddamn flight videos. So I kind of got in, I got myself in the mind state where I'm going to get out and I'm going to fly something at least once or twice, put up at least one or two videos a week. And so I got two videos done this week, and I'm just going to see if I can continue to keep doing that every week. I noticed that my subscribers went up by 10 just this last week, just because I put up a couple of fresh videos.
Right. I find myself now rushing a flight to make a video, and then, when you're rushing it, you don't fly the same. You know what I mean?
Nope,
you rush. You're rushing through the flight. You're rushing the landing, so everything is half-assed. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No, I feel the same way. Yeah. Yeah. And that's another thing. If I don't feel like there's enough time left, or we usually go towards the end of the day, the wind kind of calms down around here. Then my wife can actually go out and film for me and my son. And if I feel as though that there's not going to get enough time, or it's going to get dark before I'll just call it that night. Just come back the next day and do it.
I hear you.
So,
Eric, how long have we been going?
We've been going for 46 minutes. Frank, I'm behind on a lot of your shows, but we know a guy that knows a lot about ADS. I'll ask him what would be a good setup for that bird for you and get back with you.
Awesome.
I'll even text it to you since I have your phone number now.
It's a perfect community, man, for if you have any questions about anything. I mean, there's somebody that knows something about something in this community.
Right. I
don't know if
that Super Scorpion, I know it can handle a lot more after flying them. I mean, I've been flying it, so I know that plane, that jet, it can handle a lot more. You know what I mean?
Oh, that plane can take 8S. I guarantee. I actually wanted to put that thing on 8S. But right. I decided that I wanted to try it on a hot 6S setup first.
Right.
I still may go to 8S on that plane. I haven't really made up my mind yet. I actually have to.
8S might be too heavy in that plane.
So I took out the FMS stand, kind of crumbled on me, and on the first flight, I had to land it in the bushes because it was actually my nephew's plane. I let him take off, and he came around the first turn, and he just wasn't used to flying something that big yet. And he threw the radio at me. It's like pitch black out. I don't have my glasses on. I told him he probably shouldn't take off, and he did anyways. And so I landed the thing in the bushes as softly as I could. Well, when it landed in the bushes, I didn't turn the throttle cut on. I gave the radio to my son, and he accidentally hit the throttle real quick. It sucked a stick inside of the intake, and it blew apart the EDF.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so I ended up taking that EDF out. I put the flex jet fan in it and did the maiden flight on it. It worked well. It just seemed a little underpowered, I guess. I mean, Goonie X said that it's much faster if I put the regular fan back in it. So I ended up buying a free wing fan, 90 fan, 46S fan, and I haven't gone back out to remaiden it yet. But I already promised that FMS fan to someone else. I actually got to send it out to hanger, but that thing could definitely take 8S. It could definitely handle 8S.
Right.
I'm kind of thinking maybe a JP fan or even the 8S setup that's in that Raptor would be a nice 8S setup.
What KV's in that Raptor?
I think that one is a 1390 KV or something like that.
8S?
Is it?
Yeah, it's an 8S 1390. It's got 150 amp Fly Fun ESC. that 8S system, that 8S Raptor moves, man. That thing boogies. That thing boogies big time. There's a huge difference between the 8S and the 6S that I've noticed.
The 6S has power. It's just not. It's like the V3 FMS Corsair that just came out. It flies good. It's just it's not fast by any means.
I hear you.
I'm looking up the KV for you right now.
With the Raptor, I mean, you're not really noticing the amount, the extra battery weight that you're putting in there. It handles it so well that I mean,
that's a big plane. I mean, that Raptor is big.
Oh, it's big. It's a big boy. It's a big plane.
Right.
It is a really, really nice plane. I should have taken better care of mine. I left it in my truck for too long. It kind of got trampled on by other planes. I really didn't take care of it the best, man.
And your neighbor underneath you smashing it.
Yeah, I left it in my truck and just kind of stacked other planes on top of it. I really didn't take care of it the best, man. And I really do need to go and touch it up and fix some of the stuff that's wrong with it because it really is a good plane. It's a nice plane. It deserves to be treated better.
Yeah, you're right. 1390 kV, 150 amp ESC.
1390 kV. Yep. And the JP fan is a 1400 kV. Except for the 8S system in the Raptor is an in-runner, and the JP fan, the 8S JP fan is an outrunner.
Okay, what's the difference between the in-runners and the outrunners?
So I can show you.
In-runners are a lot more efficient. They're more torquey. And outrunners are less efficient with less torque.
Physically, what's different is, so this is an outrunner I have right here, Frank. On an outrunner, the outside of the motor spins.
Oh, okay.
On an in-runner, it's internally that spins.
I got you. Now I see what you're saying.
It's the difference between having like a small car motor versus a big car motor. One of them spools up quicker than the other.
I got you. Which is a better motor? Was it better, the in or the out?
And a lot of people like the in-runners a lot better.
For big fans, like 100 plus millimeters, outrunner is fine.
Right.
But the smaller the fan, the better they do with in-runner.
So on that,
in-runners, like I said, they don't have that quick spool up like an outrunner, but what they do have is efficiency. And I mean, at your top speeds, you're probably doing about the same with an in-runner as you do with an outrunner. It's just that the in-runners seem to be just a little bit more efficient. You get a little bit more time out of them. They don't overwork the ESC in your battery. As a matter of fact, a lot of these RC companies are actually going from outrunners to in-runners because that's what the popular demand is right now.
I hear you. What do you think about Castle ESCs?
Oh, they're great. They're great.
Okay.
Yeah, they're awesome. Yeah.
I use a lot of those. When I swap out ESCs, I upgrade to those. I've heard different opinions on different. Some people tell me, well, they've changed over the years. They're a little better now, but they used to burn. They used to catch on fire years ago. I don't know. I've only been using them about 3 or 4 years now. I like them. I was just kind of curious, what your thoughts were.
I mean, I have a Castle ESC inside of my inside of what's that plane? What's that big Horizon biplane that I have here? Oh, I got the Beast biplane.
Yeah, the discontinued Balsa E-Flight Balsa.
Yeah, it's like a Balsa E-Flight Balsa one that they came out with. It's called the Beast biplane. It's actually pretty big. That one actually has a Castle ESC in it, and it seems to be fine. I've had that thing powered up a few times. It seems to be okay.
Right. Cool. So far I've had good luck with them. You know what I mean? And but other people have told me they weren't that good and not to use them. I said, well, I've been using them about 4 years now. I got anywhere from 75 amps to a 130, 160.
Yeah, they have a whole line of them. They go from like 100 to 120, 130. Maybe they have 150.
I know Castle is some of the better ones for surface as well. Castle is one of the big names in ESCs for surface RC.
Yep.
What is we E-Flight motors? That's what I've been using. I mean, is there a better motor out there for speed?
Those would be good questions for Guniac.
Okay.
Guniac is the man when it comes to knowing hot setups and cold setups and what motor works good. Yeah, he just had so much experience with it, and he flies so much that you almost have to take his word for it because he's flown so many different types of planes for so many different types of setups.
Right.
He's really partial to the FMS fan unit. I guess he really likes the FMS fans. He likes the FMS stuff.
I hear you. FMS, they have a nice airplane. The detail on them, the way they build them is very good. I can't say on the power on some of the jets. I think some of them are underpowered now. Well, they used to be. Now they got those power pack, whatever you call them. And I've watched the videos on them. They move. They move a little quicker than they used to. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they are a good built airplane. A few of them the retracts have ripped out because they weren't glued good or what. But you got to remember this is being man-made. You know what I mean? How many planes do they make? How many do they distribute? So you got to figure
thousands.
I mean, so you got to expect things to be wrong. It's not going to be a perfect airplane. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, you're going to come across a hinge. Aileron hinge or something's not glued right, or it's going to rip out, or a wheel or something. It is what it is. You know what I mean?
I tell you what, FMS is probably between FMS and Free Wing and Horizon. Those guys really have their quality control now pretty darn good nowadays.
Yes, they do.
When you get these planes, you can literally, like they say, fly them right out of the box. You have your receiver, put your rates, your pros in, and go out and fly, and you're not.
They do. I mean,
well,
what plane can you put together in about an hour or two and go take it to the field and fly it? You know what I mean? They've come a long way.
A lot of it, they've improved the manufacturing, which has improved the airframe overall.
Yes. Now I've had some planes. I think it was the Red Bull. What the hell were they? The Red Bull. Is the extras 300s or something?
There is a.
300 that I have. He's talking about so I believe that 300 extra from Horizon that actually used to be the old Red Bull one. I think it's kind of the same airplane.
Was it? I bought one of them. Well, I got 4 of them.
The extra 300 that you just saw me fly, the extra 300.
Yeah.
I think that airplane actually used to be the old Red Bull one.
Is it?
He repainted it though.
I'll hear you. I got about, I think 4 of those, and I'm flying it. All of a sudden, the freaking motor flew out of it. The motor mount broke, and I was like, "What the hell just happened?" Because the plane was doing backflips, and I'm like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!" I mean, the motor mount broke, and the motor flew out of it. And the plane, it came down. It really didn't damage anything, but and Adam, I called Adam up and I go, he's the manager at the Louisville store in Hobbytown. I said, "You're not gonna believe what just happened." He goes, "What?" I said, "The fucking motor came out of the airplane." He started laughing. I was like, I said, "Yeah, you laugh. I almost hit somebody's car." But he thought, things happen though, and it is what it is. But I took one of those planes. It was the blue one, the newer one. It's the I guess the extra. The blue and white one. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah, I put a Castle. I think it's either 80 or 90 amp in it, ESC, and E-Flight 46 motor, and I think I was swinging a 14.8 prop. The videos in Old Downtown Airport. That plane, I'll tell you what, it moves. And it maneuvers nicely with the bigger motor in it, with a little more weight on it. And I think I was running a 4-cell, what was it? 3,200 or something like that, 3,300, the bigger pack. But putting that motor, I had to re-drill the motor mount, and I re-glued it all. I re-drilled it, you know, put screws with the nuts in it behind it, and because the motor mount on the 46 wouldn't fit on it, so I pre-drilled it and then re-glued it, made sure it wasn't gonna come out. But I tell you what, that plane with that motor in it woke it up big time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, some of these planes need to be woken up a little bit, and then to get the maximum out of it for the best aerobatics and whatnot. You know what I mean? Because an underpowered airplane, you get it to a bad altitude, you can't pull out of it. It just crashes. You know what I mean? And if you ain't got the torque, the power to pull it, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Well,
absolutely. What are you laughing at, Eric?
Look at the chat.
Oh God.
Just everybody fitting in where you and Frank drop the F-bomb a lot, so they're dropping a lot in the chat.
So yeah, can we not back on this channel, Frank? You dropped F-bombs, bro. That happened. That's one thing that fuck.
There you go again.
So everybody in the chat dropping F-bombs now for us, man.
You got Dana's Archie laughing so hard that they might be accidentally wetting themselves from it.
Oh, I bet. Was it Marshall that started it all?
oh shit.
So we've been going an hour now, Dave.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Yeah, you guys. Hey, before we get up out of here, you guys got any last questions for Mr. Frank? You guys are unreal. No, I actually haven't been watching the chat, you guys, because I've actually watched Frank, but I will go back later and rewatch the chat. I won't rewatch the stream, but I will at least go through and watch the chat over again. So, you guys are unreal, man. You guys are unreal, man. There's more F-bombs in the last 10 comments than we've had all video.
No shit.
Oh, so Dave Marshall's doing a Zoom tonight. You guys see the there? He just dropped a link for the Zoom call tonight. I gotta drive to the store after I'm done with this, so I'll probably jump to the Zoom call with you guys.
If you ever want to come on the show again, you're always welcome, Frank.
Oh, Frank, anytime you want to come on, man. Yeah, absolutely. Beckham Royce, Roy, you know Roy Forwood. He just said what's up.
What's up, brother?
Air Marshal. Christ, man.
You just know it's going to be crazy if you see the name RC Air
Look,
Marshal.
Delaware's getting in on it. Oh shit, man. All right, guys. So listen, man, we're gonna get up out of here for the night. I gotta go grab some technical real quick. Frank, I appreciate you coming on, man. It was an absolute pleasure to have you here, man. You're a boss. We all love you here, man. So just know that, man. Eric, anything?
Hey, man, I appreciate you guys letting me come on, man. I love it.
All right, man. Cool, dude. Awesome, man. We'll definitely have you on again. I appreciate everybody, you guys stopping by tonight. We will get some more flight videos out this week, you guys. I got a couple of new planes that I got to fly, so we'll get them out there and we'll get them done. But yeah, guys, I'm Dave. This is Dave's RC, Shadow Ops. Hope you guys had fun tonight. I sure did. The chat was awesome, you guys. Thanks a lot. We're out of here, guys. Peace.
See you guys. Take care. All right. How do you do this?